Hi, my name is CJ and this is my RC channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the chassis flex issue and a solution I have for it. Now, the main problem with chassis flex is in the front end of the car, and it's really right about here, right where the kick is. You can see how the front end moves up and down. You can see the drive shaft moving in and out here. When I flex the chassis, all the action is happening right up here. Now, what I'm doing for that, first off, you're going to need to ditch the little body post and do your body with Velcro like I'm doing. I have 3D designed a series of braces. I've designed it deliberately as two separate pieces because I want the added strength of gluing them together, and the way I've set up the infill to provide more strength. So I've designed this so it has as little left to right twist by using a dense crosshatch pattern, using about 85–90% on these two pieces here. These are 100% line filled. The line, well, some of you aren't going to understand any of this. If you know anything about 3D printing, you'll know what I mean. I use a high number of wall thickness, like 6 for these, so it guarantees that this is basically just a series of back and forth lines top to bottom. So it's very strong going in one direction, but it doesn't give you a lot of strength twist, and it could easily be snapped apart. Okay, so the idea is to glue this piece into this piece with epoxy, and that is going to provide a nice strong piece, much stronger than if it was designed as one piece and printed that way. Okay, and this, do I have this backwards? Just a second. There we go. Okay, this piece bolts right here to the two holes on the back of the transmission where the little body mount bracket was. And that just slides right in there, and then it bolts here. Okay, now there isn't a flex issue at the rear as much, but my goal in doing this is to get rid of the metal top pieces here and here. I'm also going to print some spacers that can be slid in place of these metal pieces. The plastic braces can be left. They're fairly low weight, but this gets rid of some real heavy pieces of metal, which really aren't going to be doing that much for you anyway. And with these two pieces, there shouldn't be any issue. So this, like the rear piece, we're going to be gluing this piece here into this piece. Excuse me. I haven't totally cleaned this piece yet. I want to do that before I push that in there. Oh, damn. Bumping the camera again. I live for that. Now, this little piece here, I designed separately because I wanted to get the most strength out of this. I didn't want to have to print it upside down, and I didn't want to have to do supports all the way down. So I made this bracket in two pieces. There's two reasons. Number one, you need to make sure that you're clearing the steering rack here, okay? And you also have the issue with the surface here is at an angle because of the kick up in the front end geometry. So this piece will get glued onto the bottom. Basically, it's just a wedged shim, and then we bolt on back here. And as you can see, once this is in, there's maybe 1 millimeter of space above this metal piece, which is non-moving, but you've got maybe 2.5 millimeters of space above the rack once this is glued and is, you know, fully bolted down firmly. So now I have two versions of this. One I designed with this cutaway here because I have modified my steering linkage at the moment. I'm probably going to be taking this out anyway when I put in the new servo, because things are going to change up there. But for now, I wanted to make sure that this nut here didn't impact. I have a second version of this piece without the cutaway. So if you end up modifying yours like this for whatever reason, you can print either one you wish. If you don't have a 3D printer and you don't know someone who does, contact me down in the comment section, and I'm sure I can work something out with you. We'll come up with a reasonable price and just standard postal shipping, and I'll print up a set and send them out to you. We've also got these battery mounting brackets that allow you to run a shorty pack. I talked about those in a previous video. And the little spacers down here to remove these metal brackets, I would include with these. Additionally, I am going to be designing and printing out a new servo mounting bracket. I don't like the location of this one. I want to move it right down to the end here. So in any event, I'll demo that later, but right now I wanted to get this out to you guys. I know a lot of you guys have bought these recently, and there's been at least one video that I've seen so far with this kick issue being a real problem. The one that I saw, the person hit something with the front here, and it actually bent their motor up. That shouldn't be a problem if you use both of these brackets, because they are going to create a linkage between the front diff, the rear diff, and this metal plate here and the two brackets. So there should be no movement of this center section, and that's what happened when that hit. The motor came up, and at an angle, its momentum carried it. So hopefully that shouldn't be a problem. I mean, anything can be destroyed if you smash it into the immovable object hard enough, but these should do a lot, and you're not going to have any kind of flex forward or backward with these two mounts. Nothing that is going to be easily measured. Certainly you're not going to be able to grab it with your hands and move it, not once these are put together correctly. Let's see what else to talk about on this. I just wanted to let you know that I am going to be prepping this to race 1/10 scale all-wheel drive buggy, and I got most of my parts in, so I thought I would give you a rundown. I've got a Rude Dog servo. I really wanted to get the same ProTech RC servo that I've got going into my my new B6.2 buggy, or excuse me, short course truck. But I didn't want to spend the $130. I got this for about $80. That was some nice money saved to put towards other things for this car. I'm kind of trying to do this with the idea of I'm putting in real raceable electronics and such, but I'm trying not to go for the highest end in that vein. So onward, electric speed control, the ESC 160 amp XC Run XR10 Pro Elite. This is about $200. I got all of this from A-Main Hobbies. I have a Tekin Gen 4 Redline modified motor. This is a 6.5 as I recall. Yep, 6.5 turn motor. This is going to be real fast. It's faster than the one I'm putting in my Associated. I put a 7-turn RevTech in my my all-wheel drive race buggy that I am building up, and I thought I wanted to go a little faster since this has so much more weight, and there's no way to get rid of some of that weight. So I wanted to go that direction. Brand new set of wheels and tires to replace this stuff. These are all-wheel drive front and 2- and 4-wheel drive rear, 2.2 inch diameter wheels with 12mm hex. For the front, I'm going to be running a set of electrons, and in the rear, I'm running a set of positrons, and of course, I'll do some prep on these and whatnot. This is a good combination, running the positron rear, electron front. It's very popular for indoor groomed clay type tracks. hard surface. I didn't go with the clay compound. I'm probably going to pick up a set of the MC, but I decided to start out with the S3 compound. That's their soft compound for warm temperatures, 70 to 90 plus degrees temperatures, since we're heading into spring and summer here shortly. So I wanted to go with that so I could do some outdoor driving and still have a good grip level. So that is what's going on with that. And I did find a set of a sway bar kit that I think is going to fit on this. And I also found a center differential or slipper that I think is going to fit here. I couldn't get exact measurements, so I kind of had to eyeball and cross the fingers. So I'm taking a risk, and I ordered it from China at a very high rate of shipping. I mean, it was $20 just for shipping. So I'm kind of gambling, and hopefully it'll work out. I don't want to tell you guys part number and whatnot, because if you guys rush out and buy it and it doesn't fit, I don't want you coming back giving me a hard time. But as soon as I get it, I'm gonna test fit it, and if the parts fit, I'm gonna put out a video right away letting you know the model it comes from, the part number, and the vendor that I sourced it through, and likewise with the sway bars. And so you guys can go out and purchase those and either go slipper or center diff. I have heard from one of my commenters that there were several videos people were breaking gears either internally in the diff or ring and pinions. That is not a problem with the gears themselves. I also heard that somebody was heating up the gears in an oven to try to soften them, to make them not break as easy. That is not the way to go either. They have gone through a hardening process for a reason. Making them soft is only going to make them break more easily. The little bit of flexibility that you're going to gain back is going to be at the price of dramatically weakening those gears. Don't do it. The problem is right here. From what I was told, these gears were breaking on landing after jumping. That's not a problem with jumping. The problem is, if you watch my video number 2, I pull out this gear and I weigh it. It's a monster. It's literally a flywheel. It weighs almost a quarter pound. It's almost it's 3.12 ounces, if I recall correctly. Maybe it was 311, but it's outrageously heavy. It's the heaviest single piece of hardware on the car, and that's a tremendous amount of rotating mass. When that thing is rotating at several thousand RPM, and you jump and land the car, all 4 wheels hit pavement hard and they bite. They basically stop to whatever rotational speed the car is traveling across the ground, while this flywheel is traveling at a much, much higher rate. And it has a tremendous amount of stored energy with all of that weight. And that rotating mass is going to rip these gears apart. Absolutely. There is nothing you can do about that except get rid of this. Another thing to do would be to go off throttle in the air when you jump until you get rid of this. But if you are trying to do tricks in the air, like steer the car in the air, you know, doing whips and things like that, or you're trying to angle the car in the air to get a good landing, and you're using a lot of throttle to do that, you're risking destroying your gears because of this damn flywheel they put in here. I don't know why they did that. It's terrible. It's the worst thing about this car, and it's one of the worst things I've seen WLToys do. This is such a nice car. It's got so much potential to be a really nice car for the money. I mean, think about this, okay? Let's say you want to race all-wheel drive buggy, okay? Great class, very popular, lots of people. Chances are you know at least one person who races all-wheel drive buggy. A buggy, even a decent kit, is $550, some of them over $650. That's just for the kit. No wheels, no tires, no electronics. Some of them don't even include a body at that price. Okay, then motor, ESC, servo, wheels, tires. By the time you build this car up, you're talking $1,000 easy, maybe $1,200, depending on the level of hardware you're putting in. I mean, easily a couple $100 for a speed control. If this is your first time buying that speed control, chances are you've got to buy an interface box for another $30 to $50 on top of the cost of this. So you could be spending over $300 just on the ESC alone. A decent motor, $110. That's just the going price. You're not going to find one for much less that's worth racing on. $60 to $140 for a good servo. You're really not getting a good servo at $60. This was kind of a compromise on being reasonably high torque, having acceptable speed at 0.8. I really wanted to go down toward 0.6. That's why I love that the ProTech servos. They make some of the fastest servos, and they have really high torque too. You've got to set your ESC to high voltage, but you know, it's not a big deal because the only thing you're running is your receiver and your servo. So running the high voltage to crank up that servo to get the most torque and the most speed out of it is absolutely worth it. So let's just say, you know, $80 to $100 right there. Bingo. Okay. So between this, okay, let's say almost 300 for this speed controller, 110. So we're at 410. Might as well just call it 550 for the ESC. And by the time you pay taxes and shipping, you're talking $600 because you can't forget about paying the government. And if you're over in Europe, you've got that VAT tax, which is blood money, in my opinion. I can't believe they do that to you guys, but you know, that's your political mess to deal with, not mine, thank God. In any event, easy $600-700. We haven't even gotten to tires yet. $25 to $29 per pair of tires. So let's just say $60 with tax, and say $15 for a set of wheels. That's only one set of tires. You're going to need more than that. You're probably going to need 2, 3, 4 sets of tires if you're going to be racing competitively, because you're going to need to wear some of them down, keep, you know, some with more tread, some with less tread, and you're going to be changing those in compounds as well over the course of a day as the track changes. You know, temperatures rise, track gets looser, maybe they water the track down, things like that all impact, and tires are one of your biggest performance items. So much is not talked about with tires, and they are so important. So anyway, if you're getting this kit for 150 and you throw in another $400 or $500 for the cost of a high-end all-wheel drive kit, you've got the whole package, and that gets you in the door to start racing. That's great. You know, and we didn't even talk batteries. You know, you're going to need at least 2 or 3 batteries. I like to have at least 3 or 4 batteries for every event that I go to per car, because if you're talking 3 heats and a race, I want to be able to, you know, have a fresh battery for each, which means the first battery I run, I want to be my race battery for my later. I want that to have cooled down completely and been recharged in time for the main. So, you know, again, you know, racing is expensive, and but it's so worth it. The fun of competing with something that you've taken the time to tune and learn to drive is huge. It's so much more fun than just bashing in the backyard. I get bored really easy just hucking a car off the same old jumps. You know, I'm so much more enthusiastic about learning a track, learning the car, learning to make the car go faster. You know, each time I practice, each time I make changes, you know, dialing it in more and more and more, getting better and better with it, and then going out and testing myself against other people. And I'm at an age and a point in my life where I don't care if I win. I don't care if I'm, you know, even in the middle. I like to do well. Everybody does. But I want to have fun. I want to enjoy myself. And I enjoy competing. So, you know, if I crash out from something I did stupid, you know, I don't care. It's the brakes. It's racing, you know. And if someone else plows into you and tosses you and it takes you time to get back in the game and you're out, you know, oh well, you know, next race you do better, you know. It's just racing. And once you accept all that and, you know, you go there with the mindset of I want to be competitive, but I also want to have a good time, it's the best way to spend a day. So I'm going to try to make all this stuff available to you guys. I'll get the G codes up on some site. You know, altruistically, I'd like to give this stuff away for free, but I started this channel not only to pass on as much information as I could, but hopefully to make $1 or $2. It would be nice if I could even have this pay for part of my hobby, not to mention making me any money at the end of the day. I'd be happy just to break even. So I'm going to try to find a pay site where I can put these up for a few bucks and let you guys know where that's at. Like I said, if you don't have access to a printer, contact me directly and we'll figure something out. I've got plenty of plastic filament. I can probably even give you a choice of colors. So let me know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you're having fun with your 104001. I really hope you've watched my first couple of videos on this, and that if you bought one, that you took the time to take it apart before you ran it. Hopefully you didn't find all of the problems I found with mine, with the assembly. And if you watch those first two videos, you'll see the kind of things that weren't done correctly that you need to be looking for. The most obvious was that all 4 of my shocks were leaking right out of the box. And that was just a stupid assembly person who obviously hadn't even looked at the manual before he started working for this company. I don't know why they don't give them even rudimentary training, it seems. Anyway, I'm not going to bash on WLToys too much. You know, they were trying to get this car out really fast. You know, maybe it was a mistake to tell everybody that this was coming so early in the game. I'm sure it really helped them launch it because they probably got more pre-orders than they know what to do with, because they actually had to run 2 releases. I was, you know, one of the really early birds on ordering this, and I got one of the first round of cars released. Hopefully, if you haven't gotten one already, by the time it does arrive for you, they'll have worked out the kinks in the system, and they'll be running at a more manageable pace, and they'll be doing a little more inspecting, and these issues won't be there. But you still want to take your car apart and make sure everything's right, do the proper greases, and it's a fantastic learning experience to see how your car is put together, get a better understanding of you know, what's in it, why it works the way it does. So have a good time and feel free to contact me with questions. I'll do what I can to help you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click like and please subscribe to my channel.